found the third gate, so this is the property right here. Today we are going to the Vintage Vibes Market. Normally they would have this thing called the Country Living Fair, which is held by the Country Living magazine, and it was my favorite fair to go to. It was very similar to this. It was like antiques, vintage, handmade goods, and a bunch of things like that. So I'm hoping this is very similar to it. I'm really excited to check it out and see exactly what they have. Last week, as you guys saw, I didn't end up posting. I either got food poisoning or the stomach bug, and it was not fun. And then I was dehydrated, and it just like trickled into the rest of the week, and I just was like in bed and not feeling great. I went to the doctors, got a bunch of tests done. Everything was fine. It's just that I ended up like being dehydrated from being so sick. But I'm feeling much better now. So I'm very excited to go explore. I have my nieces and my sister with me, so this should be really fun. Sure.
Hold hands.
You want to hold hands? Alrighty, so we are about to head in to the market. It looks a lot smaller than when they used to have the Country Living Fair here, but hopefully it is just as good.
We have to get them at the dance recital.
So pretty. I thought this booth was styled so beautifully. This was very similar to how the Country Living Fair was. A lot of the booths were just styled like a home and had such fun, beautiful pieces. I loved everything here. I thought this like gravy or soup bowl was so beautiful, and all of the other pieces were stunning. These were also so pretty.
That is beautiful, Annabelle. Do you think this stuff is so cool? It is.
The woman at this next booth was so sweet. She saw Annabelle looking at a bracelet, and she just took it right off of her table and put it on Annabelle's wrist and said, "You can have it," and it just made Annabelle's day. It was so sweet. This booth was also really cool. They had a lot of fun antique pieces. How precious is this? Again, if I was pregnant or had a baby, this is something I would definitely buy to put in the room. We also found these signs, which I thought was really cool because they're all of the places that we go to. Next, we stopped and got a cookie. These were gluten-free, dairy-free, so it was perfect for all of us with all of our different allergies. And I thought this stuff right here was so beautiful, and I thought it would be really cute in honey. Next, we came across these repurposed aprons from like old vintage textiles, and they are so pretty. I used to collect vintage aprons, so that's something I definitely would have been on. This piece of furniture, I cannot stop thinking about it. It is so beautiful. It was $325 though, and I just felt like I probably could have gone to the restore shop and I could probably find something similar and like try to create a similar design on it, but oh my goodness, I just thought that was so pretty.
We are sitting down right now. Such a relaxing, quiet lunch we're having. Baby.
I haven't found anything yet, but I'm gonna go through again and see if I can find anything.
Walk in the shade.
Left.
So you want to part ways here?
Sure.
Or do you want
Mama.
My camera started to get a little foggy, the lens at this point, but this booth had some really cool things. I actually bumped into Connor's mom and his aunt, and they bought some stuff from here, which was so stunning. And I also thought that this little desk setup or vanity setup was so pretty, as well as this mirror. All right, you guys, I'm struggling with finding anything here. Also, there's a piece of property that Connor and I really want to look at, and nobody will get back to us. It's been a week and they keep telling us they'll call us back. So I've been like doing all this digging, and I think I found the owners of the property. There's like so many different phone numbers, so I've been calling like all these random numbers, leaving messages. So it's been like distracting me this whole time, but fingers crossed somebody will call me back. This old box was so beautiful. I feel like this would look really pretty in our house. I just didn't really know where to put it. And then this vase, oh my goodness, or a picture rather, I really wanted to get it, but it was $70 and I couldn't really justify spending $70 on something that I don't quite need. But there were tons of different vintage textiles, and I love these because I feel like there's so many different things you could do with them. Okay, we are heading out. I'm heading out empty-handed, but like a lot of this stuff was really beautiful, but like the same exact things that you buy at Hobby Lobby. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes like places will label something as like a vintage market, but like that's their version of vintage. But this video is not ending yet. We are trying to come to a conclusion with this property. So we're gonna go drive to this piece of land right now and see if it's possible that we can buy it. It is so intriguing. I don't really know what the property looks like that much. We're gonna go see if we can figure this out. We're gonna put our little Nancy Drew thinking cap on and figure it out. I feel like a little kid getting out of school right now. Connor just came to pick me up. As you guys know, I came with my sister, but I wanted to stay a little longer. There's my dad. Hi, Dad. I said you're like my dad picking me up from school. Well, do you see I'm coming home empty-handed?
Yeah, very good.
I knew you'd be happy, but I was not very happy. But I know you're happy that I didn't buy anything.
It's better than the garbage that people pick up on the side of the road and claim it's vintage.
I always pick up garbage on the side of the road.
Yeah, but a lot of these places they go and charge like.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. There was beautiful things there, and there probably were like 5 to 7 antique booths, but they were so expensive. Like it was. We are on the road of the property. We don't know the exact address because Zillow just has it. That might be part of it.
Right there.
Zillow just has it listed as 0 and then the road. So we're not really sure. I know it said that there's 3 different gated entrances, and one of the entrances does have like the sign. It's such a beautiful road. It's like just all open fields. Yeah, I think that actually might have been.
Is that the pond like I was saying?
Yeah. Well, we'll drive and see if we could find the sign, I guess. That was really beautiful if that was it. I don't know. Okay, so this maybe? Yeah, so that's a gate. That's a gate. They did say there was like 3 gated. And that, I don't know. We found the 3rd gate, so this is the property right here. Yeah. Wow. This is interesting. I don't know what to do. Like, interesting. Very interesting things have been happening. So we found the actual property. We obviously can't go in because we don't have permission to. And there are so many trees, so we can't actually see what's going on. Like I mentioned, I called some people that I think own it. Before that, I had called other people that I thought owned it, but it's actually the house that's next door to this. So I called them, but they're not the owners. But hopefully the new people I called are. I just don't know what to do because no one's getting back to us. What are you doing? Do a cool trick. Do a trick. Jump off the rock and do a trick. Spin. Do a trick. Really? I missed it.
Oh, it's a carpet. Look, it's huge. Yeah. I mean, we can walk that way too, to it. Want to do that?
Do I like better?
Mm-hmm.
You don't like butter? Drum roll. Okay, the man called me back and I saw the phone number and I was like, oh my gosh, I think this is the guy. And he was like, it's so great that you found me and were able to get in contact with me. He's like, I'm like really happy that you're interested in the property and all this stuff. And he was basically saying like, if the realtor or the listing agent rather doesn't call me back in a couple days, to just go through him, which would be awesome. So kind of hoping maybe she doesn't call back and we can kind of just like work with him on things, because obviously he owns the property, so he's gonna know like the most information on it. And so Connor was inside, so I was able to ask him like all the questions that I had about the land. And honestly, I didn't even have to ask him most of them because he kind of just answered everything for me. He just went into like spit off mode of like everything about the property. He said that part of it is federal wetlands, so obviously that's not buildable. He said he's really just selling the property for like recreation, because he did say it's not impossible to build on it, but it would be extremely difficult. He guess when he bought it like years and years and years ago, he bought it to build a house on it, and they kind of like marked out where they wanted the house to be with like all of the dry land and stuff like that. But I guess that they've just been giving him a really hard time about it because it is wetlands. He also said something about like part of it is marked as like farmland, and there's just all of these like hoops that you have to jump through. His wife ended up getting sick, so they didn't end up like putting any effort into it. And then he told me that he just had a heart attack, so he's like, you know, we just have to sell it at this point. Basically, he told me like everything I would have to go through in order to get it approved, like who I would have to go through and stuff like that. So I'm going to look into it tomorrow. That's really exciting that we heard back from the guy and that he seems like he's kind of willing to help us and like talk through things through with us. He said, like I said, he just had a heart attack, so he said if he was well, he would just come on down and show us the property himself, but he's not doing so great, I guess. So that is where we're at with that. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. So I am just cooking some dinner, and I got a call from the owner of the property. I just talked to him yesterday. Those clips you guys saw were just yesterday. So long story short, good news and bad news is that the good news is we're gonna go see the property this week, which we're really excited about. The bad news is it does seem like most of the land is wetlands, and we do know everything you know, about wetlands, the risks with it, the good, the bad. If we were really considering buying the property, the first thing we would do is go and talk to everyone and like 1000% make sure that we could even build something on it. Our plan with this property would be a lot different than I think a lot of you guys are assuming it would be, which I'll talk about in the video when we actually go to look at the property. So don't make any assumptions yet, like thinking we're going to this property to build our dream house, because that's not what would be happening. But we're gonna go check that out this week. So probably this week I will post that video of us looking at the land. I'm really excited to see it either way, just because I think it's a beautiful piece, and I just like to keep looking at different properties and houses because it's just good to kind of like see what we like, what we don't like, and stuff like that. But I'm gonna end this video here. I am making some yummy dinner. Connor is working on the boat, and Willie is wanting to go outside. So I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.